Hello, Jeff. My name is Jill Fleming, and I'm posting a reply to your comments about the equivalency theory and how we have to incorporate it with new age of distance learning. Although I do agree that since we are now embarking on distance education, and new theories must also be included within that environment, I think some of the theories will always be steadfast and true and remain the same. Um, I think that when I first thought about distance education, especially for myself, I just thought, oh, this is something new. This is something that uh, that the education is trying out a new theory to test it to see how it would work. However, after reading and studying and getting into the in-depth of it, I see that distance education has been around for a long time. It's just that, as you state, it has changed formats. Just like when it first began with correspondence classes, when the material was mailed to students and the students had to complete the work by a certain time frame and mail it back. So it is nothing new. It's just that we have to create the best practices or best environments for the new technologies along with distance education and not having face-to-face learners. I think one thing that will always remain the same is having to understand that every learner has a different learning style, whether they are in a traditional setting or in the distance learning environment. And it's true that with distance education, you may have to be more self-motivated, but that same thing can be true of being in a traditional environment. If the student, even though they are presented with this information in a traditional environment and have a certain time frame to get it back in, to turn their assignment in, they are not forced to turn an assignment in. They may be forced by way of not having a good grade. However, they're not actually tied down to saying. I think it becomes where a social issue, because they may get it in based on the fact that other people are watching, that they're not doing the work. And as you mentioned about the learning experiences, it's hard to achieve the initiative and the part on their focus on video clips and online presentations. I think we should not use, I think what has happened a lot is that distance education, or the technology part of distance education, has been used as an afterthought. Oh, we'll just, let's say a instructor may have used the same PowerPoint for 5 or 10 years based on the amount of time they're teaching and not modified any of it, or maybe have splashed some images in it or audio, and thinking that will suffice for having different type groups of learners as they come through the learning environment, and that won't work. It has to be a well thought out, well planned idea, which will be a combination of theories that have already been known to be worked, new theories that need to be incorporated within the new type of distant learning environment with new technology and devices, and best practices. We have to begin to look at what is working in other cities, states, and other countries even, so that the learning environment is something that is suitable for the learner, for his or herself. We mustn't forget that our primary focus is to make sure the learner is understands that this is a lifelong thing. It just doesn't stop with each class. It's a continuation. Thanks.